Good evening. Welcome to Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. I'm your host, Charles Brakely, along with my special guest, award-winning author, Hezekiah Morris. What's going on, Hezekiah? What's going on with you, buddy?
What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I can't complain. Hey, man, great. I'm glad to have you on the show. Hey, but before we get started, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor, the A Game. So before we get started, I want to play their commercial so they explain to you what they do and who they are. Here we go.
This is A Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A Game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
And there you have it, the A Game. If you want, I keep saying it over and over again, but if you want your free sample of the A Game, give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836. All right, we're going to get right back to our special guest, Hezekiah Morris. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man? I know I asked you that earlier, but let's get into it.
I'm still thinking about that A Game, man. I'm thinking I need to do this.
Hey, I can vouch for it, man. It's an awesome product, man. You definitely want to check it out. And we'll talk behind the scenes, and I'll definitely hook you up with that. No problem at all. So I got you on that. So we're gonna get right into it, my brother. For the people that don't know, let them know something about Hezekiah Morris and who you are, brother.
My name is Arthur Hezekiah Morris. I'm from Appomattox, Virginia, small little town in Virginia. I started writing books, I would say about 3 or 4 years ago. I was incarcerated at the time. And, you know, I was feeling like my life was just going downhill from there. So, you know, when I wrote this book, I started all the way from my childhood on up to where I was at that time, incarcerated, and just trying to spotlight some of the troubles and some of the things that I had been through as a little boy and that had molded me into the man I was at the time, and trying to come to grips with why I was at the place and at the position I was in at the time. And it became a healing process at the same time. It still became a part of me that wanted and needed to know more. You know, growing up in a domestic violence home and you know, not feeling worthy, and you the darkest one in your family, and it's just not getting the love that you thought you needed or nourishment that you thought you needed, and growing up and feeling like you started to be a man too soon and hanging out there in the streets and you know, that's doing crazy stuff. And even though at the same time you was getting to the pinnacle of your life at the same, but as soon as you make it to the top, you would always fail, you know. And I never fully wondered why. Well, I was like, was my confidence shot, you know? So with that first book, I talk about all this and how I felt and some of the things that I went through. And you know, writing that first book, I was still going through at the same time, you know, because when I got out, I got it published. You know, I was working a day labor job and I was only making like $45 a day. So I got it copyrighted myself, and then found me a publisher, and I had to pay I paid about almost $1,200 for my first book to get published.
Wow.
But it was well written. It was worth the money and things. And just being able to get it out there. And I was going through relationship problems at that time. And I was just at work one day in Virginia, you know, and I was like, I don't want to do this no more, you know? So I just got up and left and moved to Philly. And I was going back and forth from Philly to New York. That's pushing my first book. You know, I was doing numerous interviews, book signings. I actually had it on the Today Show. I did Columbia University, different platforms, you know, and I was like, wow, I'm a felon, you know, and here I am in Columbia University, one of the most prestigious universities in the country. And from then on, man, I was just having that that drive and that push, man, to just put my story out there to let others know you can be successful no matter what you go through. And no matter, what's going on in your life, when you just determined and you just, you work as hard as you can. And it was still trials and tribulations that I was going through
right
at the time, but I was just determined not to give up.
Exactly. And man, and you did a hell of a job because, like I said, you have a lot of accomplishments that came about with that. You've been nominated for Author of the Year 2020 by Black Love Poetry Series, and you won first runner-up QWERTY Global Community Book Awards. How was that experience being recognized for the work that you did?
Oh man, us as authors, we kind of feel like, oh man, ain't nobody reading our books, or I'm not the #1 bestseller or whatever. But for me, it's not even all about being a #1 bestseller or that. Like, my books are real. They're real stories. You can connect with them, and the work that I put in on a day-to-day basis is crazy. Like, from the time I wake up to the time I'm going to bed, I'm marketing, promoting, trying to get on different platforms, pushing this and pushing that, regardless of if I sell a book or not, because I want people to read my story. I want them to feel my story. Like, I actually wrote 2 books that's in erotica romance.
Okay. But
they're real, true stories of what goes on in everyday life and relationships, and people can relate, and the feedback is so powerful, and it makes you want more. It makes you want to keep striving and keep doing these. And when I was recognized for these awards, man, it was like, wow, really? Okay. I'm just not doing this for nothing,
Right.
That motivates you to want to do more, and want to reach out more, want to help out in the community more, want people to read your books. It just gives you more motivation to want to do more and to feel good about yourself. Because as humans, man, we have this trait where we have up and down emotions, and we live off of emotions. And with them emotions, we want that euphoric feeling of feeling good sometimes, so we don't feel left behind sometimes. And, with them awards, that was a great accomplishment to even be, put in the category and to come second runner up in 31 countries. That was a blessing on its own.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother. Awesome. And I see, not only that, I had to see another award I didn't mention. Also, you had the S&M Gospel Indie Award, and actually you won that Author of the Year. So, Congratulations on that one there. Now, you have 5 books. I'm going to name them all, and, hope I got them all right. Restoring Hezekiah, that's Changing a Generation, and also Restoring Hezekiah. Matter of fact, we're going to go one at a time. So let's go with Restoring Hezekiah, Changing a Generation. Let's talk about that book first, and break that book down so the people know exactly what you were going through and your emotions, since you did write this with such emotions and what you were going through.
That's my first book. That's the birth of who I am.
Okay.
That lets you know what I went through as a child coming up and dealing with peer pressure, dealing with domestic violence in the home, and how my mindset and thinking was as a little kid, seeing all this and, growing up trying to find out who I was and who I am. I never had a chance to really find out who I was and how to use my talents for the good, instead of try to take all my talents and hide them and focus on more on the streets and get love from the streets instead of using this talent, and just going through different mindsets of my daughter being born and, trying to be a young man and at the same time not ready to be a man, not ready to settle down, not knowing how to be in a relationship, not knowing how to do manly things, not knowing how to use my emotions and set, because everything that I learned was wrong. So being in the position that I was in at that time, I just wanted to reflect on all of that I had been through and how that my life up to that point, how I destroyed it, and at the same time, how I felt that my environment destroyed who I was also as a person.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So with that is how my first book, I always call it my baby, because that's who I am.
Okay. And you said it right too, man. Because a lot of people, like you said, you growing up, when you're younger, you don't know what's right, you don't know what's wrong. If you see that every day, you see abuse, you see whatever is going on in your life, you think that's normal, and that's what it's supposed to be about. You know what I mean? And thank God that you said, I get, you dug down in your side, and inside of you, and you figured out, hey, that wasn't the way to go. And then you eventually turned your life around. So that's awesome, that you were able to do that. Now you had another. Go ahead.
And for me, it was like when I got in my first relationship, I was like, I always said I would never be like that person. But when I found out I got in my first relationship, I was just like that person. And that really hurt me. Like, like when you're drinking it and you turn into that person, and you are now that person. You have now took on that person's personality that you didn't ever want, and you always wanted to hide.
Right.
That was one of them feelings like, that's not me. That's not who I am. Yeah,
because subconsciously, man, that, like I said, it stares you no matter how you look at it. You know what I mean? Because again, you see this, so your program, you don't even know it. Subconsciously, this is what you think is right, even though you know it's not right. You understand what I'm saying? So again, that was just that subconscious mind coming out, and you just acting out what you learned, about how to be a man. You know what I mean? So, kudos to you for changing it around. Now you also have another book you have here. It's called let me get it right. Restoring Hezekiah, Me and Only Me. What is that about?
See, everything springs from my first book. Once you read my first book, every story that I write after that, it springs from that's branch off. And for me, I was going through a breakup at the time, and I was in Philly at the time, and I was going through a breakup with my fiance and everything. I was thinking about relationships, and I was thinking back on my relationships too. And so I started talking about how us as men, how we'll get in a relationship, and then we feel as if that woman hurts us, and how we use every other woman after that to our advantage, and how we just dog them, and how we just use women, and then we meet one, and she's supposed to be the one, and we like, okay, we're gonna stop playing. But at the same time, we find out that we're getting just how we use that other woman and play that other woman. That same woman is doing the same thing to us. So we get like karma is playing this role in our lives. And I talk about this, and I talk about these relationships, and how man and women, and how we can love somebody so much, but it still can be for us, and that we can't forget that some things God just is not going to put together, and we have to. It hurts. Love hurts. Love is one of them funny things that it really hurts. And when I'm writing about this, I'm telling the audience that even though we can love someone, sometimes we still have to let them go. That could be the best love that we can give them, is to let them go, because that is not that it's detrimental to us, and it's also detrimental to them too. When it gets to a point where it hurts more to be together than not to be together. Right. And that's what that book basically touches on right there.
That's love right there, brother. Because again, like, you recognize that you are not good for that person, and you let them go. You give them that freedom to go, because of the fact that you're just not good for each other. So, that is a form of love, even though it did probably hurt emotionally when you let that go. You understand what I'm saying? So again, I mean, that's an awesome testimony right there. And you also had another book called Remember Them Days When We Were Young, and we were young. And then, when we were young. Yep, that's it.
Oh man, that's an awesome book in its own too. Because
is that going back to the beginning, or how's that going?
That goes back to my teenage years, when I'm hanging in the hood and hanging on the block with my friends, and we're young, and we're just, just roaming the block. It's like a Friday movie, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm telling you stories of my time in the hood and hanging with my bros and stuff, and it's like, man, what, y'all did this? Y'all were crazy. People giving me feedback. They were like, boy, y'all crazy. I can't believe y'all did all that. And see, we was young, we thought we would live forever. We could do anything. We weren't get no older, but we lived our time, and we had a good time, even though it wasn't all positive.
Right.
But at that time, you were about in your 20s, and you're not even thinking about what's going to happen in the future or what went on in the past. It's all about right now.
Right.
And so I started the book. I started the book off. I'm in my bed, and my friend, he comes by every morning. It's just like a Friday morning in the hood. The hood is like a Friday, Right. Every morning you do the same thing, but it's just a different day. And he'll come by every morning, and we'll get up, go to the store and get a beer. So I started off like that, like, all right, I already had a rough night the night before, but we still going to do it again the next day. And going through here, I'm telling you these stories of what I'm going through and what's happening to me at the same time. And it's so funny because I'm having all this negative stuff going on, but it's also got all this other stuff going on at the same time. You're like, man, you went through that. You were going through that. Everybody like, man, y'all was crazy. I can't believe that. And when people read it, they're giving me the feedback. They're like, and like from people from my hometown, they be like, oh my goodness, I know that. I remember that, and it's funny because I wanted to pay homage to my homeboys too that I grew up with. Like, that's because we don't hang no more. We're not together. I haven't forgotten y'all. We had our run. We had the good times while it lasted, and I still love y'all as a human being, but life goes on. We all grow, and it's time to move on. But we had fun while it lasted, and I talk about that at the end of the book. I talk about I haven't talked to any of them, but I see them on Facebook, and I see they are matured and grown up now. They got families and doing the right things. And the women crew, they're doing great. They got families, working good jobs. And for us men, it took us a little longer, but we're finally getting there. And I talk about that in the book. Actually, I want to read a little passage from that, if you don't mind.
Yep, no doubt.
If you don't mind,
No, hey, man, this you, man. This is all you. So,
okay. Yeah.
Again, this is award-winning author Hezekiah Morris. Morris. Check him out. Go ahead, brother.
Here we go. It says it's almost like a little poem that I'm writing at the end, but it says, I remember the days we were staying on the corner all day filled with laughter and fun. I remember the days we would buy fireworks and share them with the whole hood on the 4th of July. I remember the days we would meet up at the park and take crew pictures with the girls. I remember those days where we all looked out for one another and were welcome to each other's house. I remember all the fun times that were always outweigh the bad. We were a band of brothers and sisters who were trying to find our way in this unforgiving world. I know for the girl crew, they have moved on and have had successful lives, each one of them. They are no longer girls, they are women. I have not seen them in years, but I follow them on social media and see that they have grown in so many ways. For us guys, we have stumbled along the way, but in life, no one is perfect. And I think I can finally say we have found our niche in this here world, whether it's good or bad. I remember the days when we were young.
Oh, that's hot, man. Yeah. And that's hot. That's hot. Yeah. I remember when we was young too. It seemed like everybody that, were raised or born in the hood. I remember those days too, where, every parent in the world, you run around acting crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I got forever to live and boom, life hits you right in your face. You know what I mean? So yeah, I remember those days too.
And see, and that's what this book is all about. You know what I mean, man? It's great, man. I get to use my creative writing, that's the telling stories and stuff. My head is filled with stories, And we used to always sit around and people be like, one day you're going to be writing some books one day. I just be mad because I did it all and had so much fun. And people decide you're going to write a book one day, It's finally coming to tuition. And I have like lots of stories that stuck up in my head to write.
But there were some good times too, man. When we were coming up. We used to have a good time. Like you said, out till the street lights came on and, and we didn't come back. I hated to go back in the house, now.
Like going home was like, no, I don't want that's it.
Or your mom or whoever called you to come in. Like, hey, they got to call me right now. So, but we got a lot of people out here loving you too, man. I want to give a shout out to Izzy Meditates, my partner in crime. She says, good evening. Also, Ashley, Davis Robinson, what's going on, lady? Izzy says, very awesome that you are able to understand your emotions and find a way to express them in written word. You know, so she gave you that shout. Give a shout out to my frat brother, Sidney Sessom. What's going on, brother? Tyrone Ricks is listening also. And Izzy also says, love it. What's next for you? Izzy, she's asking questions. I'm going to ask him. But anyway, we shout out to Laura Motley as well. She's on watching too. But, well, I mean, since she did ask you that, but, you know, we'll get into that. We'll come back. Izzy, we're going to come back to that. But I appreciate you, you know, taking one of my questions I was going to ask a little later on. But we'll come back to that. Now, after that, you got, let's see. It's called Player in Me and Player in You. Now, hold on, before we get started. Now, these are PG rated. Am I correct or what?
No, but it's not PG rated right here. You see, I told you the first book sets up the rest of the books, right?
Right.
So, all my friends, you know, I talk like my best friends are women.
There you go.
And we talk every day. And they always be like, but you ain't tell them about the player side, did you?
Okay.
You don't never tell them about the freaky zeeky side. And I just laugh. I'm like, I'm not writing no book like that. I'm supposed to be inspirational and motivation.
Right.
They like, well, yeah, but we don't want to hear about that. We want to hear about freaky. So one day I just had the idea. I said, okay. I had just moved. I was enjoying that, just moved. And I was having a good time here. You know, I was meeting women and, you know, just having a ball. You know, I'm the author in a new town, you know. And I decided to write the book. I said, I'm finally going to give you the rated R version of who I am.
Hold up. Before you go there, hold on. Can you give us the PG rated version, please? Thank you. I mean, just
but it's based on it's a story. It's a guy. His name is Z, and he meets a woman, and you know they go out on a date. You know he's kind of liking her. They're kind of feeling each other, but at the same time he meets another woman.
Okay,
and then he meets another one, and then when he finally falls for the one that he met at the first time. He got a whole lot of chaos going on, and then one of them ends up, you know, trying to ruin his life, and then come her crazy boyfriend, you know, that he know nothing about. So it's like a big mess going on,
right?
And oh my goodness, it's just chaos, you know. And he's feeling remorseful, you know, because he does have a conscience. You know, some women say I don't got a conscience, but I do, you know. So he does have a conscience, and he's feeling all bad, you know, he's upset, and he's just going through the emotions. And it's good because, like, this book right here, we're going back to Issa's question, what she asked, what's next? This book right here, the script has actually gotten written for a movie, and we already got the actors and everything. For the movie to this book. It took me to write erotica romance for my book to be filmed. You know, I always thought my first book would be the film one, but I got a lot of feedback with this one right here. So yeah, they loved it. You know,
that's all
because like I mean, the scenes are hot and steamy. Don't get me wrong. It's no slighting on them right there. You know, I bring it and then I wrote the second one. That come right back and pick up where the first one off. And the second one is even better. And I'm sitting there like, okay. Like right now, I'm thinking about working on the third part, you know. But that was I actually had fun. I used more of my talents writing this erotic romance novels than I did. It took me a week. I wrote a night and day to do part 2.
Wow.
No phone calls, no nothing. I did straight week I took to write part 2.
Hey, and you know what? That's the crazy part because a lot of people, you know, is always sex sells. So, you know, and you know, the erotica, all that sells, man. It's sad in a way. It's great on your part, on your behalf. But I'm saying you have a beautiful story. Well, you know, the story of your life in the beginning, and then, you know, you're like, oh, this is gonna make it. And the next thing you say, well, I'm gonna put this out, see what happens. and you thinking, well, I'm gonna make it on this end, and this end end up making. You like, well, I wasn't even expecting that to, do what it did. But again, like I said, sex sells. So again,
but for my books, like the books now, they are so real and relatable that the women are sitting there like, you know what? It's like it's true, and then the men will read it. They'll be like, man, you right, man. I'd have been through that too. I'd have did, man. This book is right on money because I'm telling you, it's like it's truth to that. And I'd have been through plenty of relationships, and then trying to be the player and trying to hold this one off and hold that one off and lying to this one and lying to that one. And then all of a sudden, boom, they're both looking at each other and looking at you. And you're like, oh, man, how did I get in this position? And just writing about it, remembering all of them, and then bringing it to fruition and putting it in 3D, and then the emotions with having the sex scenes and explaining it and putting it right there in front of them. And like even Christian women have read the book and like, wow, that, wow.
I'm gonna say my comment, but go ahead.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, Christian women, they like your books too. They like your.
I ain't saying nothing. I know exactly what you're saying, brother.
It's just something that they can relate to and read, and give them a good story to read. You got fireworks and like the player Me Too. I actually took some of the characters out of Remember Them Days When We Were Young. And took the scene and everything to my hometown to start this book off with. I'm in my hometown, because I'm hiding from all the drama in Atlanta. But here I go. I bring it home. I get home. I want to act up. Again. So it's crazy. So it's always something going on, and I just feel I really like doing them books right there. Because I get beside myself. I get to use my creativeness. That's right. I used to have a girlfriend called me, oh, you so sentimental all the time. See, now I get to use my sentimental side, and use all that and oh man, I just love it, This like my friend, she called me yesterday. She said, I might got somebody for your show or whatever. I'm like, okay. She was like, but don't be flirting with her because she's married. I'm like, oh my goodness, me, not me. I said, we just said, yeah, whatever,
Right.
And I just be like, man, y'all don't give me the benefit of a doubt,
Hey, look, at least they know your book is true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I got a friend. She's like one of my best fans. She buy the books. She buys all my books. She said, "Oh, that's you. I already know you." I'm like, "Brad, thanks. I get a benefit." She don't let me get no good timing. It's you. But it's awesome, man.
When is that movie coming out? You said you got a production going right now.
I'm financing it. I'm financing myself. I was gonna do a thing where we can get donations or whatever, but I'm gonna go ahead and finance it, myself.
Okay.
And hopefully by 2021 it'll be done. Awesome. It's gonna be like a short film, and then we're gonna pitch it to different film festivals and stuff. Okay. Andre Harris Productions is actually doing the movie and everything, and along with Nakia Dillard, the guy that played in The Wire. Yeah,
man, so that's awesome. Yeah, great. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to pat myself on the back, but I do act a little bit. So, if you want me to act as the husband or the boyfriend that was mean or mad or whatever,
oh yeah, man. Yeah, we debate now if we want to make it a little mini series, a TV series.
Cool. All right, awesome, man. So listen, where can the people buy the books at? Where can they purchase all these fine books?
They can go to Amazon.com.
Okay.
Type in Hezekiah Morris, or they can type in the book names. I got a couple of them on Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, okay.
But a couple of them on Barnes and Nobles. 3,000 other stores in the U.S. and around the world.
Wow.
Most of them are on Amazon. Okay. I don't like to sell my books over $10 because I feel I just feel I want everybody to be able to read my book and enjoy my books.
Awesome.
So none of my books is going to be over $10. They're going to be right at $10.99, somewhere like that, because I want somebody to always enjoy my books. And just
awesome.
Yep, that's my platforms. I'm on Twitter as Morris_Hezekiah.
Okay.
Also on Instagram as Arthur Hezzy.
Okay.
And Facebook is Hezekiah Morris.
Mm-hmm. We'll come back to that too, because we want to, for people that join a little later, we still want to get that information out too. So, and actually I could put it in the comments as well. So I'll do that after the interview. I could plug that in for you, so everybody could check that out. So, but excuse me. Well, we already know what's next as far as the movies coming out eventually. Are you acting in it as well, or are you?
I'm gonna do it like a little Stephen King cameo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little Stephen King cameo.
I like that. Tell us a little something. What you do in your spare time, man? I mean, I know you writing books, and that's your passion. But what do you do in your spare time?
If I'm not writing books, I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. All I do in my spare time, I'm either writing,
still
working on this show, marketing, promoting, or working.
Mm-hmm. So now you said you're writing. So you got another project after the movie? What's coming on?
I'm working on a story. It's called Memoirs of a Junkie. Yeah.
Now let's go back. Now, so you said Memoirs of a Junkie. Now, are you referring to someone else, or how is it?
Basically, it's a story about addiction, because I am an ex-addict and dealing with some of the issues that I've been through. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to incorporate a story. Let other addicts know that, hey, y'all are not left alone either. Y'all are not alone, and that how the world turned our back on addicts, right, as a whole, for something that they can't control. So what I did, I just wanted to tell a story about a guy and his addictions and how he was turned and returned whole, and that they are not alone. No addict is alone. And as long as I live, I'm always be an advocate for an addict, because I was one time, that's who I was. And I know how they feel. And, I just want to be the spokesperson, to sometimes be the face of, like, look, we can do anything that we want to do. Right. No matter what we go through in life, we all have a redemption story, and it's a blessing to just really let them know that, hey, man, I'm right here walking with y'all every day. What I do is for you all too, and then the story might help somebody. It's a very good story,
Almost definitely, because I mean, like I said, everybody has, drug abuse in my family as well. You know what I mean? I never was on drugs, but I had family members that were on, and it's rough, man. It's a rough situation, and anybody that can battle that and come back from that, that's just, man, that's some powerful stuff, because a lot of us can't come back from that. You know what I mean? So, it tears families apart. So, that's awesome that you are trying to reach out and give back, to that community, as far as, you could probably reach somebody and touch them, like you said, and never know, you might change your life around, and I'm pretty sure you will touch a lot of lives and change it around. So, great work on your part, man. Continue to do that. I'll commend you for that. So, the next question I had is I wanted, it's like I always ask this question. It's a question where, I don't know, it could be funny, it could be serious, whatever, but tell us something about yourself that may surprise us, that we may not, let's put it like this, that may surprise us, where we might not think you might do this, or you might say that, whatever it may be.
Oh, man.
I mean, if you can.
I'm a loner.
Oh, you are? What?
I like hanging by, I like hanging with myself. I have a couple of friends I hang out with, but I'm more or less a loner.
And get out of here.
I cannot explain this to women enough. They're like, oh, you're a liar. You're always, I know you're sneaky, but I am a loner right now. I am a loner. You know what I mean? But they're like, I know you're talking to somebody. Boom, 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 somebody's over there. You know, I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, I like watching. I've been watching Narcos and Narcos Mexico and Queen of the South for the past month, like straight. So I just been me and these TV series, you know.
Right. So wait, hold up. So you've been a loner all your life, or you just turned?
Well, no, not all my life. You know, I did the little.
I was ready to say,
you know, but like now in my time, it's more or less. I'm more of a loner right now. You know.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, hey, look, man. I think everybody at one point, like you said, go back and convert to doing that. So hold on, we got some more questions over here for you. Let's see. William Dixon says, my other partner, he says, where can I audition for a part in a film project?
Well, once we start shooting, it's only gonna be like a 1 day, 2 day shoot.
Okay.
Like we already got the characters and the actors, so it's already put together and ready. They're just waiting on me to finish paying.
Okay, there you go. Well, there you go, Will. That's your question, and we got that answer. So, hey, before we get back to people telling you, to tell the people how they can purchase your books again, I gotta give my sponsor one more shout. Okay, and here they go.
This is A Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
That last part takes me out. Oh my God. Again.
yeah, I know. That's what I got excited when I heard that part. I was like, man, I need some of that.
We're going to talk to you, brother. But again, if you want your free sample, give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836. Hey, brother, again, let them know where they can order. Matter of fact, we're going to do this. Run down all your books one more time so they know the names and the titles of your book, and then, let them know where they can get them at.
Okay, I got Restoring Hezekiah, Changing the Generation. Restoring Hezekiah, Me and Only Me. Remember them days when we were young, The Player and Me, and The Player and Me Too. And you can find them on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, and 3,000 other bookstores in the U.S. But mainly you can get them on Amazon.com. You can find me on Facebook as Hezekiah Morris, Instagram as Arthur Hezzy, and Twitter as Morris_Hezekiah.
Awesome. And again, this is the award-winning author. I'm going to keep saying that, Hezekiah Morris. So definitely check him out. I'm going to get all 5 books, so I'm just going to let you know that now. So,
all right. Appreciate it. You're going to enjoy them.
I'm going to support. Yeah, I'm going to check them out and see what you're working with. You know what I'm saying? Like, see what went down. See what went down.
See, you're gonna be in reminiscence stage. You're gonna be like, man, this boy that took me back, man.
Right. Oh, man. Hey, man, listen, man, it was awesome. It was a pleasure having you on the show, man. And again, man, thanks for coming on and sharing with us your story, and it was awesome. I had a great time with you, great conversation.
Me too. I enjoyed it.
We definitely got to get you back on again, especially when that movie comes out. Definitely got to get you back on and talk about that. So, again, I appreciate you on that. And anything you want to say before we get out here? Any last words?
I just want to thank my fans and supporters, for always supporting me and coming through when I need them. And, my circle, regardless of what I'm going through, if anything, I always have them to call, man. I'm just blessed in that. I'm going to give a shout out to my daughter, let her know that I love her. And my mom and my dad, I love them as well. And my brother. So that's about it, man.
Awesome,
and
man.
I appreciate it for you having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for coming on as well. You know what I mean? And again, man, it was a pleasure talking to you and meeting you finally. And we're going to do some things together definitely in the future. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's good.
Again, this is our Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. I'm your host, Charles Brakely, along with the award-winning author, Hezekiah Morris. I'm gonna say it again, the award-winning author Hezekiah Morris. Okay, so we will see you next week. Well, actually, we ain't gonna see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow. Actually, for tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. We have Love 101 tomorrow. Feel Good Talk Love 101. So definitely check us out. Again, thank you for tuning in. Have a great night out there. See you when I see you. Peace.